Did Ice Frog intentionally not fix that so people would realize it and put him mid so they realize the viability of having a hero who has that much disable and physical damage output at level 6, so they'll still run at mid even after the nerf?
Ice Frog works in mysterious ways.
Nah, nobody thinks that far ahead. Let's go. Moving on.
Silencer. Global silence cooldown reduced by 10 seconds.
Look,
Yeah.
when Void gets his ultimate cooldown cut, when Brewmaster gets his ultimate cut, it's only fair. Silencer gets a cut to like 100.
Okay. Yeah. To 100. That's the thing. Not
100.
to 130. 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would vote for you if you were my president.
There you go. Lumi for president 2014.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have a green card?
I do. Fuck you. I'm a natural citizen. I'm American.
Yeah. Anyways, Skywrath Mage. Mystic Flare damage increased by 100 and 200 on level 2 and 3. I think this is nice, and this is we're going to talk about Sniper in a couple more heroes. But I feel it's kind of like this, like, okay, let's grab his skill that has a huge number, make it a huger number. I don't know if that's even a word, huger. Probably not. But sometimes it's silly, sometimes I'm like, well, why not? I mean, Skywrath Mage is all about that huge ultimate damage. Killing lots of people just by making, what, like lightning fall from the sky? Not even lightning, like
It's
laser.
the Sky Dome, man. It's the fucking Sky Dome.
So, I don't know. It's...
I mean, for an ability that costs as much mana as that skill costs, it better do a shitload of damage. So I think it's, like, fine. Doesn't really change the dynamic of the hero at all, but
yeah,
a buff's a buff, right?
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so Flarder, bash damage increased on level 4. I don't know about you, but I like maxing bash kind of early. Not at level 7, but kind of early.
You're doing it wrong.
You're talking to the wrong guy to max anything that's related to RNG. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I fucking max sprint every game.
Do you just get stats over bash?
I get 1 bash. I get like 4-4-1, like every game.
Okay.
But I mean, I still max the bash.
You don't believe in the skill. That's why the skill doesn't believe in you.
Dude,
you just go to 1, 3, 5,
RNGs has forsaken me, Lumi. Okay,
oh,
there have been so many situations that I've been playing, and I either get RNG'd to death because of Void backtracks like 8 of my attacks in a row, or I just don't bash or crit and just die and look retarded. I'm done, man.
Cool.
But if you bash people, then you can
real fast
flare them.
Is the bash physical or magical? The damage output.
Slarder, I think it's magical. Can't tell you in a second.
You get bashed when you're BKB'd, but I don't think it does damage.
Yeah, I think it's a physical stun and a magical damage.
Damage physical. Oh.
Okay,
so
actually, it's a big deal then, because amplify damage with minus armor. Holy shit.
I mean, yeah, it actually...
I mean, it's RNG based, but if it happens, it's like, holy, it's a bash.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, you got a point there. It's like, it will be more than 100 damage.
Yeah.
Because if you have, that will probably be in negative armor for most of the cases. So, good.
Good stuff.
Good on you, little fish. And
holy shit, so
fish,
I know Earthstrayer is like public enemy #1 on pubs, but for me it's Slark. Like, this hero is fucking ridiculous. And everybody's picking it.
Okay, so what makes Slark ridiculous?
His
I
damage
don't know, he just
output?
goes into your whole team and kills you?
Okay, this is what I suggested, right? I said make Dark Pact only remove debuffs at the initial like start of Dark Pact instead of continuously removing all debuffs throughout the duration. That way, instead of just going LOL you can never disable me because all I have to do is use my ultimate right after my Dark Pact wears off and then at the end and I can just have like 12 seconds of never being able to be stopped, then you have a situation where it's like you have to have some finesse in playing the hero. Because his damage output is totally unwarranted given how hard he is to kill. That's the biggest problem that he has. His leap is on a really short cooldown. It does damage. His Q removes all debuffs, also does damage, and his ultimate keeps him alive. So he has like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Even though the leap will do a little bit less damage now, not much, but it's a start. Shadow Down's cooldown reduced from 65 to 60. I kind of feel that 65 is a lot in terms of... Okay, I'm going to go like... This is a weird thing to do, but... When you play a hero, there's a level of satisfaction on skills. Like there are skills that necessarily might not be that good, but they're very satisfying. The best example is Tusker Punch. Like it's a very rewarding thing to hit a punch, even if it doesn't do that much damage. It feels good when you play and you hit a punch. A good skill that is actually very rewarding is also like a Mirana Arrow or a Patch Hook, which is like you feel good the moment you land the hook. Now these are good skills. But I think Slark, if you have like a Shadow Dance on a very long cooldown like it was until now, part of the fun of Slark was being able to just go in base and region and do all these crazy things that he does. So while I think the Shadow Dance is strong and shouldn't be buffed, I think it makes him more fun to play for the super casual guy that is not thinking about how strong the hero is.
Well,
and I end my run there.
No, I agree, because the more you can actually do is in less downtime is what you're saying, right? Like, less downtime between fighting. And I agree with that. But
I'm all for fun, right? But if Slark's having fun and the other 5 people on the enemy team is not having fun, you know, you're talking about Tusker Punch. No, I'm getting the image of Axe dunking on me. And he's a Slark, right? I'm having no fun. Like, I have to, like, pick, like, Bloodseeker and Doom to just play against Slark? No, I'm not having any fun.
Yeah, I agree with that aspect too. The thing is,
I think, can you just give him a higher mana cost for all of his spells? Because the reason that he survives because he casts. Well, I guess another way Draskyl is saying is make it not removed throughout the entire duration of Dark Pact. Just make his spell cost like fucking 200 or something. I don't know. And then he can't cast 80 spells in one fight and never die.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the hero's dynamic changed pretty greatly though, because when they changed Shadow Dance from being like a 40-second cooldown where you could still see him with detection, it actually punished him for relying too much on his ulti, whereas now it's like you rely on the ulti 100% because there is no counter to it. So instead of having a hero who can stay out on the map for extended periods of time and continue to dive like you used to be able to with the old Slark, I mean, you'd have to be careful, but you could still make some crazy stuff happen, which is what Bruno was saying. Now it's just, okay, every 60 seconds I'm getting a kill. Like, it's just happening.
It's like you feel like Dexter. Tonight is night.
So
no lumberjack it though.
When the original change happened was like, oh yeah, you could still stun him. You can't see him, but you can still stun him with things like Light Strike Array from Lina and Ice Path or whatever. Like in your gaming experience, has that happened, or is he just like the Superman when he just ults?
Well, back before the change, a lot of people used to buy sentries against him because
right. No, obviously that's the case. I'm saying with the change, like. Has people actually been stunning him, or is he just invulnerable?
Well, you can like throw an AoE stun on him, just get a Tidehunter Ravage and just.
Has that happened though?
No, not often.
In my games.
Yeah,
not in my games.
Dude, trust me. Whenever I play against a Slark, he's like, I don't know, the best player I've ever seen in my life. Like just 17,000 MMR, just leap God hits from fog. Dark Packs every disable, but when I get a Slark on my team, he just doesn't even skill it. He just goes 0-4-4 and just feeds. So. My experience has varied. We'll say that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep. Now going into Sniper, Taken Rage bonus increased for the fourth or fifth time.
Dude, I pick Sniper all the time in my CM game, and he is God. Like, he doesn't need this. Like, this is beneath him.
Honestly, they're going to get to a point where that hero is just going to sit in the base and be able to attack anyone anywhere on the map, but it's going to do no damage.
Wait. Here's the thing. Like,
I'm going to jump. All right.
Yeah, that's like I told this to Lumi a couple days ago, and now I'm telling it to you. Here's the thing, right? If Sniper had global range, like literally global range, like what you just described, that he can attack people from his fountain, he would be broken. Like by all means, he would just be a broken hero because that's stupid.
He wouldn't get experience though, man. He'd be level 1 the whole game. That's how it balances, man.
No,
Think
because when
about
you kill a hero, no matter the range, when you kill a hero, you get experience. So yeah, you still have that. But anyways, the way he is right now, sorry Lumi, he's shit. Like,
what?
He's shit. He's a shit hero. Like, again, this is another hero that has a great pushing skill in Shrapnel, and no one uses it in the moment where pushing lineups are like flavor of the month, and they still don't pick Sniper, a hero that can take towers from afar, a hero that can do a spell that like Shrapnel I think does like 180 damage to towers total on level 4. So the hero is bad, and in pubs he feeds more often than not because people just go for the favorite build and just go like Shadow Blaze, and he gets a Sentry or a Dust and just suddenly dies. So the hero now is bad. Global range, good. There has to be somewhere in between, a sweet spot where he's not broken and he's not shit. So you just keep increasing the range until you hit that sweet spot where he's like.
There's going to be
really
a dangerous issue now where that hero is actually going to become a really good laner because you're never going to be able to get to him to gank him. Like, ever. Even if you don't have vision. Say you have
Bruno.
like, you're level 9 or 10, you have max rank into take aim, so your range is like 900 and something stupid like that. You can sit like in that little juke spot in the trees and hit creeps. Like, how are you going to get ganked? I don't know. I think it's okay.
The sweet spot has been reached. All right? Year of 2014 is sniper. Like, fuck the horse. It's sniper. You know what?
Year of the sniper.
He needs sight. He needs sight. Like, he's a sniper, but he can't see shit. So maybe take aim gives him a little bit of sight, and he's good too.
Okay.
But he's really good already. I'm just putting out that out there.
The judge is out on that one, I think.
Okay.
Jury, I don't know. Sniper. Spirit Breaker. You now gain vision over your target while you're casting Nether Strike. I think this is a fix.
Yeah, fix.
I call this a fix.
Yeah.
So nothing else. Storm Spirit. Base movement speed reduced from 295 to 290 because our friend William Lee was picking him a lot, I guess.
Well, to be honest, Storm is one of the stronger heroes right now in general. He's a snowballer, and his laning phase is considered weak because he's gankable, but honestly, I don't feel like his 1v1 in particular is that bad. I just think that he's susceptible to what a lot of other heroes are. So I don't know if the movement speed change was really needed, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. I was checking, like, in competitive game, out of the heroes that are frequently played, Storm Spirit is the highest win rate by a lot. He's like on 65, 67% win rate.
He's a pub stomper, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but on pro games I'm talking about. So he's a pub stomper and a pro stomper.
The thing is, like, with a hero like Storm Spirit, when he wins, it's fun to watch, right? So I can't hate on Storm Spirit too much. Like, if a Dusa's winning, you know, Storm comes in and then starts stuff, so it's fun.
Where does Morphling fall in this category?
Game-losing hero?
I mean, have you seen TI2?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people were saying,
fun.
"Oh, wasn't?"
I don't think he was fun.
Have you seen TI1? Have you seen TI1? Where
in between all the Nagas, I guess Morphling was fun.
Yeah, but that's like the lesser of two evils. That's not even saying it's fun. That's saying, okay, count down 20 minutes until this guy has his E-Blade, then things will start. Oh, good, he instantly killed that guy. Okay, that guy instantly died. All right, somebody's singing a song.
5 games. It's fun for the 5 games, and then it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, I agree with Lumi here.
Yeah. But I just want to establish the point that by TA1, every single game was Anti-Mage versus Faceless Void. And that was not fun. But yeah, back then, there were like 5 heroes in the total hero pool, so what else could you do? Sven. Base armor increased by 3. So he now has 5 armor.
Starting armor,
starting armor, yeah. And Warcry cooldown reduced from a lot to 4 seconds less. Cool. So yeah, I mean, some love for Sven. I think this kind of tells me that the vision for Sven is a carry and not a support.
Well, it can work both ways, honestly, because Sven, as a support, when people used to run him, he was always like the first one in, right? So I mean, more armor is always going to help no matter what. Not giving away a support kill for initiating and having a really reliable stun. Well, back when it used to be reliable, now it can be disjointed and stuff like that. But I still think it's good just all around. Like Warcry cooldown being shorter doesn't sound like a lot, really isn't, but it.
How long does it last? Isn't it 8 seconds?
8 or 10 or something like that.
I just know it gives you plus 16 armor. That shit is insane. Like I think the whole earlier Bruno was saying, what do you want? Early game damage, armor, movement speed, blah blah blah. Like 16 armor. But in any case, like the whole base armor increasing to 5, like the one thing that Naga Siren was amazing support was she could just take a lot of punishment and then doesn't care, still drop off her stuff. And Sven could be like that too if we're on the whole Sven support train.
Yeah, it's 7 seconds. So 7 seconds on a 14-second cooldown, it means that he has 50% uptime on Warcry, which is good. Cool. Shout out to Bulba, which was the first person to tell me something today. I'm not going to say it live, but whatever. He's an awesome dude. Bulba, I love you. Terrorblade. back in Sam, yeah. Terrorblade, Thunder cooldown. Well,
can we really talk about this hero? Because I don't think any of us have played him for a long ass time. At least I haven't. I mean, we can talk about the hero in general, but
just gonna describe what the hero does a little bit, because people might be watching like, oh, this is a new hero. What does he do, right? So even though we didn't play with him, we kind of know what he does. And so his first skill is targeted, creates a copy of a hero, an enemy hero, and that copy starts hitting that hero by a percentage of his damage, and also slowing his movement speed and attack speed. So think of a Shadow Strike-ish, in reality, that's kind of what it is, right?
Well, it's like a morphling replicate, and then it attacks you instead.
Yeah, no, but like, I mean, think of it like, I think the skill you can compare it the most to is Queen of Pain's Shadow Strike. It's a slow and a dot, which is not like it's yourself hitting you, but it scales really well on the late game, especially on carries, because the damage it's dealt, it's based on the damage of the hero you're attacking.
So it's not like a normal illusion, it's actually like a full damage.
Yeah. It's
more importantly, you cannot remove that illusion. You cannot mono drain it. You cannot hex it.
Yeah.
What I don't know is if you copy somebody like with the Radiance or AC Aura, do you get the aura for your team? Like,
good question.
Does it grant you that kind of stuff? Because that makes a big difference. Like if you make a PL, does it start having sex with itself?
Interesting.
Yeah, see, we don't play these games.
Wait. Everybody knows that PL reproduces through a cloud of spores. Let me shut up.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, well, they're classified as illusions, and they're untargetable and invulnerable. So yes.
So you do get the aura. They do make spores or whatever.
In Warcraft 3, they're untargetable, invulnerable illusions, but they're illusions, so they get all the auras.
Okay.
They don't get affected by the auras because they're illusions. But yeah, they still get the aura. So that's his first skill. The second skill is pops an illusion of you. Just creates an illusion that has a timer. It deals a percentage of your damage, and you can have that. I mean, you can cast it 2 times before the first one disappears. So you can constantly keep up 2 illusions of yourself.
Okay.
The third skill turns you into a range hero. You're initially melee. It turns you into a range hero, but also it gives you like 60 extra damage. Oh, 20, 40, 60, and 80 bonus damage. So if by level 7 you max Metamorphosis, which is on a very high cooldown, it lasts 40, 44, 48, 52 seconds and has 140 second cooldown. When you turn Metamorphosis at level 7, you're kind of god, because you get 380 damage.
Quick question asking, I'm not sure. I imagine you don't know because we haven't played this hero. What is the transforming time looking like? Can you dodge stuns within that?
In Warcraft 3 you can, because it's a transformation spell.
Right, in Dota 2?
Dota 2,
no clue?
I could never dodge anything with Sven on Dota 2. And it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Can you dodge stuns with Sven?
Sven?
Yeah, Sven transformation.
Are you sure you're not talking about Troll? I don't know, man. I'm fucking confused now.
Yeah. Well, you could dodge stuns when you're on Bear, right? Obviously.
Can you? Yeah, that
on him you can. Yeah. That's the easy one. Because I think that one actually just counts any projectile that's in midair just doesn't hit. I think that's how it used to work. I don't know if it's still the same, but
yeah. Also, do you know if metamorphoses work the way that it should with Mantis style? Like, if you Mantis split, do you get 2 more God form, or do you get 2 more of the?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do. That was fixed in Warcraft.
Back in Warcraft 3, it had like this interesting.
You had to shift click to do it.
Yeah.
It was like a weird thing, but no, it was fixed in Warcraft 3. The same with Lycan, I think. Lycan, if he got a Manta, he would get 2 normal Lycans. Now he gets 2 wolves. So yeah, that's the third skill. And the final skill is kind of like the fun one, which swaps your HP with in percentage with any other hero that you click. And that hero can be an ally, and that hero can be an enemy. So that's why Terrorblade is, first of all, the king of 1v2s, because you get 2 heroes fighting against you. You probably deal a lot of damage.
Lich is the king of 1v2. Get onto his
level.
Okay, yeah.
Unless people are like holding hands and playing Red Rover, he's not the king.
Okay, fair.
But the thing is that normally you would kill one, get severely injured, swap your HP with the other that you did an attack and now is full HP, and kill that person. So.
And then you have a Dagger and a Blink Dagger. So you come out of the woods, you blink in, you sunder whoever because you're sitting at like 10% HP or something like that, and then you just blast.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. You Soul Ring for that as well, so you lose more HP.
While you like that.
Ring. Yeah. So the hero is kind of fun. It has another like several consequences with his ultimate. Since you can pop illusions of yourself, if you pop an illusion, then you take damage. You can swap your life with the illusion. It actually works.
Why would you ever want to do that?
Because if let's say you come with 2 illusions, you get focused straight away. You go into 10% HP. You swap health with your illusion, and you're full health again.
Why don't you swap health with him?
Because you have to kiss him in the mouth to actually, and you might not be able to get so close.
So a little bit of mechanics for Sunder is that I think it's a magical spell in a sense. So if you're trying to swap with somebody that has BKB, you get whatever percentage of the HP that the BKB unit has, but he doesn't get whatever percentage HP that you have. So it's like a one-way thing.
But that's also cool because if your
doesn't it
ally
say that they changed that though?
Or did they? I don't know.
I thought it said Sunder is no longer partially blocked by magic immunity. So doesn't that mean that it actually just does full Sunder now?
Yep.
Okay.
That's actually changed.
Scratch what I just said.
Yeah, ignore Lumi. He's drunk. But yeah, so that's one thing that you can do, and also you can, let's say for whatever reason, you're not the most farmed hero in the game. Like you're Terrorblade, but you're failing horrible. You're 0-11, and you have treads. And there's fortunately an alchemist in your team that's pretty farmed. So what you can do is you can like tell your alchemist, go fight, and he fights everyone. He gets on 10% HP. You're looking from behind,
like
and he just comes. Yeah. You're a portal fountain. You're like, here you go, chump, and you take his damage, and you get him full HP again. And you just run half broken to your base, knowing that you gave your life to feed that alchemist a little bit more.
Cool.
You can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just gonna play support Terrorblade every game. I'm just gonna go like Blink Dagger and mech, and I'm just gonna blink in, save my carry, and then mech myself and hopefully not die. I'll let you know how it works.
Why don't you blink in and mech him first?
Because if you're swapping your HP and you're at full, the mech doesn't matter.
Right, but if you... Okay.
Yep.
This is too much for me.
Okay, Lumi, let me put it to you this way. One hero's at 10% health. The other hero's at 100% health. If I mech first, and then I swap, it doesn't matter for the hero that I'm trying to save. It only matters for me.
Right. So I'm saying... You mech him, give him armor, he drops down to 10 HP, and then you swap him.
Nah, that's not how it works, man.
Okay.
You gotta YOLO it. You just gotta go in, and you gotta just go for the gold. You gotta just sacrifice yourself for the people.
Fair enough.
Yep. Well, that wraps Terrorblade up. I think it's going to be a hero that we'll see a lot in pubs since he's one of the...
He's a new hero.
He's a new hero, and he's a carry, so people will pick him. If he was a support, people will be like, nah. He's the new hero, so
real fast before we move on from the hero, what role do you guys think this hero? Draskyl is playing a support Terrorblade, so there's that. Yeah. What about Bruno? Do you think this is a mid? This is a carry?
No,
what is
safe lane.
Safe lane, okay.
Safe lane, yeah, safe lane. He scales really well late game, just because of that native like +80. The +80 damage goes to illusion as well.
Yeah.
From his...
So for those of you guys that haven't played him in Dota 1, like he had a history of feeding, so you know. Heroes like Anti-Mage and PL also had a history of feeding. Who knows what's going to happen with Terrorblade?
Yep. But as I said, like the fact that you get that bonus damage into your illusions as well makes him really powerful hero very early on. He scales very well into late game because when he goes into his special form, he also has 1.6 base attack time.
His special form? I like
his final form?
Yeah, his final form. So he's a cool carry. But yeah, that's it about Terrorblade. We'll play him later when he comes out. My speculation based on how Valve works, and this is totally speculation, is like normally test patches come on Wednesday, and the main client patches come on Thursday. This is speculation. I have no idea, but I would guess.
You know. Oh, you know.
Well, if I know, then I would shut up because I wouldn't be able to say. Right? So I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're doing this whole thing for Chinese New Year, right? Chinese New Year's in like 3 days, so they better get this thing done.
Isn't it like 31?
31, yes. 31.
Yeah,
and
first.
considering that it's 31 in China, it has to be 30 in the States. So it has to be in the next 3 days.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Tidehunter. Kraken Shell debuff threshold reduced from 600 damage taken to 600, 550, 500, 450. And Kraken Shell damage block increased by...
You're just going to break debuffs more frequently. That's the only thing that changes, really. I mean, 4
Real
damage...
fast, why isn't Tidehunter in the center of everything? Like, I would imagine... well, obviously Tidehunter Ravage has a 150-second cooldown, but he could get in the thick of things and do some work, right? Or no?
I think he'd be really good in those lanes where you're doing like a 2v2 and you have like a ranged hero like Mirana, who's also fairly popular right now, and you put a Tide with her as a support. I just think a lot of people don't like going melee supports, or at least like supports who can get a guaranteed type of initiation off during the early game in case they do decide to try to do some type of roaming, where Tidehunter is like, he kind of needs an item to be that useful, in my opinion. I don't know, it's just my thoughts. I mean, I still think the hero's good. I just don't think he fits a lot of teams' picks right now.
Yeah. I also think for those of you guys that are playing pubs, like Tidehunter is just an amazing hero in pubs. Like, Ravage just
definitely
wins fights.
Pubs.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would try him out always. All right, Timbersaw.
Timbersaw, base strength reduced. Even though it's a small change, my question is, Timbersaw is wicked good in laning stage. Do you think by making him less tanky early, does it change anything?
I think the hero is actually fine. Like, the hero does a lot of damage right now, but they changed the one broken part about him a while ago, which was Timber Chain still going through even if you were stunned or disabled. And like during the duration of the Timber Chain itself, not like while you were in flight or whatever. But ever since that, I feel like he's been fine.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, top tier hero is going to continue to see nerf until he's not top tier anymore, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a... It's a pretty big base strength nerf, honestly, for like the starting strength. Like 3 is pretty large, but I still feel like he's okay.
That translates to how much HP?
Well, it's like 19
I forget,
HP
19
per...
19.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's like 60... No, 40? 57?
Yeah, 57.
57 HP.
That's actually... That's a lot.
More than 1 out attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's good. Okay, Tinker. Again, Sam was happy about this. Added Aghanim Scepter, doubles laser cast range, and hit-seeking missile count. So,
all right, I'm gonna look at the current cast range of laser, and then
I think it's 500. Or 400.
I'll be honest, I hate this. Like, I like that they gave him an Aghanims, hate that this is what it does. Tinker is a hero who, more than anything else, is supposed to be able to control the map. Like, that's his job. Why are we giving him an Aghanims upgrade that you would never buy in any situation unless you already had like 4 other items, and it doesn't do anything for any ability except for pure team fight?
It's same as the line Scepter thing, right? It's just like hey, I have 4K go.
Okay,
real fast. Like if you were seriously trying to incorporate this Scepter into your build, like at which point do you get it? Obviously not before Breach Travel.
No, but right away. Okay, so here's the thing.
Do you go right away afterwards?
No. Listen to me. Like, Tinker is one of those heroes that you can be doing really well when your team is doing really bad.
Yes.
Like, he's one of those heroes that's completely disconnected from what is happening in the game. So the thing is that, okay, you're 9 minutes in, you got your Boots of Travel, which is like a normal time if you're doing good, right? So now you got your Boots of Travel. You look at the scoreboard, and your team is 110. And your carry has like brown boots and gloves of haste, and it's trying to go for that Midas that will never come. So that's when you say, okay, now I'm going Scepter, because what's going to happen is we're going to lose all map control. We'll be turtling in our base, and I will just be rearming, spamming 4 missiles at a time, and just annoying people and delaying the game, and just by passive gold make our carry get into their way. And this is, I think, why Andy hates this change, is because it makes Tinker the turtle master.
Well, I don't hate it because of that. I think that that's like the only situation I would ever get it, actually. Like, if you think about it, if you're trying to not lose map control, the best thing you can do is Rat Dota them, right? So that item does not actually help you Rat Dota, which is what the hero can do. Like, not quite to the same extent as some other heroes, but enough to the point where at least you could keep maybe 1 or 2 lanes kind of pushed out while you're continuing to lose towers and stuff like that. But if you're doing that, you're not going to get an Aghanims because you need mobility. You need to be able to blink and force staff to get in a better position. So the item is still useless. unless you're actually just in your base, in which case no item's going to matter.
But that's the thing. It's like this item is only if you're losing. I would never buy an Scepter if I'm winning. But the thing is, one of the heroes that's I'm going to say Tinker is the most annoying hero to break base against.
I agree.
Bar none. Like I'm going to be like super absolute in this. I think there's no worse hero than Tinker to try to break base against. And the Scepter, even though offensively gives nothing, it enhances that like to an extent where imagine like just 4 missiles, just hitting your whole team, making it impossible for you to push. If any hero can hold your base for 10, 20 and 30, okay, second worst hero. The first hero might be Techies. Yeah. But other than Techies, like if Tinker can delay the game for 20, 30 more minutes, like it might help your team, but also it might make for really, really, really boring paths when one team is 25k gold ahead and they can't break base because that Tinker is being so annoying.
I don't know. I still think you're just a mech or a pipe activation away from being able to reach high ground, and thus you just Tinker get the fuck out. Like, I think okay, double laser caster range, cool. 4 heat-seeking missile, great. Why don't you just do something for March of Machine as well? Make the AoE bigger, make the cast range longer.
March of Machines is already an amazing spell.
It is, but it's an Scepter upgrade.
I don't know, man. Like, you can't make March better, in my opinion. That ability is like...
Well, the thing is, there's no reason to get Scepter right now. Like, it's a waste of space of item.
Well, right? You would buy it as a 4th or a 5th item. That's the thing. Like, you would have a really big core of items built up before you ever thought about picking it up.
You will go bots, blink, hex, before this, right? I'm listing the items that you would go before this. What are other items you will go before this?
Maybe force, depending on the game.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
But that's about it, right? And then if you're looking for burst, I think that Dagger would still be better than going an Aghanim. So you'd have to put yourself in harm's way, but at least you're ensuring the kill, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like what Bruno said is right. This is like a really good turtling item, but that's it. And the hero can already fucking turtle. Like, you don't need this.
I just predict very boring games where there's a Tinker on the other side and I can't win because he's stopping by himself a full team.
Like, this hero is Enfos now. Like, this is what you've made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well. 9,000 people watching and taking this into advice. Don't want to play against Tinker. 3. Treant Protector. Overgrowth AoE increased by 50 on each direction, so 100 total. And Nature's Guys cast range increased from 300 to 600. So his useless spell gets buffed. But
I think the cast range is a bigger deal than people think, because there's a lot of situations where you can just be in a fight or something like that, and Tree is one of those heroes who has to be very close proximity to do pretty much anything. So you'll be away from your teammates a lot, and having a 600 cast range and an ability that can actually save a life, I think is a really good change.
Yeah, it's definitely a buff. I just wish the range of the Nature's Guys is a little bit bigger, because it seems like as long as you're not hugging the trees, it just goes away.
Yeah, and also 2 seconds fading time, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I think the tree got 2 big nerfs in this patch that are not based on like himself, but other stuff going on. One is actually Faceless Void getting a huge cooldown reduce on Chronosphere, because Chronosphere.
Are you gonna tell me that Chronosphere counters tree?
No, I'm saying that if you could have a Chronosphere or an Overgrowth, I'd rather have a Chronosphere.
Okay.
But Overgrowth selling point is his slow cooldown.
Ah, like I see where you're getting.
Yeah, the Overgrowth, it's a bad AoE spell, other than because it has a low cooldown. And with Chronosphere having a lower cooldown, it kind of like competes with that. And the second reason why Tree is nerfed is because of the Shadow Amulet change that we'll talk about later. But just like keep that in mind, because when we get there, we'll see you'll see why it kind of nerfs Treant Protector.
I mean, the thing about Nature's Guys is like it's one of those like you fool me once, good. You can't fool me twice, right? Like as soon as you see Invoker use a Ghost Walk, and really good players even get it before they even use that Ghost Walk, you get the Dust and Sentry. So if Nature's Guys is becoming a great spell, people are going to react to that. So I'm not even sure if it does that much.
Well, it does enough just by what you said, because if they're reacting to it, then you're making them spend money on detection. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
So, Troll Warlord. Fervor max stacks rescale from 2, 3, 4, 5 to 4. I'm not sure about that. Like,
okay, this is the abridged version, in my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
At lower level, it's going to be worse, but as soon as you get it to level 2, or level, or no, not level 2. I think it's level 3. It actually becomes...
No, it's actually better at level 1.
Is it
because
better at
it
level
goes
1?
From...
Oh yeah, because it's actually better at every level, because the max stacks are always 4. So you get 64 attack speed at level 1, and then it keeps getting higher from that all the way up until the last one, which you get like what, 132.
132. Yeah.
Yeah, 132 attack speed now from the max stacks, as opposed to just 100. So it's just a flat out buff. Like, it's just good.
Yep. The only thing, like, it's a flat buff, and besides on level 1, not only you will get more total attack speed, but you'll also get it faster. Because when before one hit would give you plus 20, from level 2 onwards it gives you more than plus 20 per hit. So it will get you there faster. So
is the attack speed the issue here for Troll Warlord? Is this like similar to Sniper getting more range?
I think Troll Warlord died in the metagame when they gave a cast point to his Whirling Axis.
Yeah.
I think that's the like it's kind of like when they gave Diabolic Edict casting time as well.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculous cast point too. They gave him like a huge one.
That was a pretty bad one. But yeah, so I think that was kind of the problem with Troll Warlord. You came from a very, very good laner to a meh laner, and just because the alternatives were better, he was forgotten. But I don't think he's a bad hero. I think he's a good hero. And again, pushing metagame.
Is he picked? Yeah, he's not picked.
No, he's not picked. But how many, like, there's so many heroes, and pro players can only be good at so many, or just, like, not good, but feel comfortable with so many. So I can totally understand if a pro team says, okay, these are my, like, 5-6 comfort heroes, and Troll Warlord is not on them. So we'll never pick a Troll Warlord for, like, Dendi or S4 or whoever plays mid. You know what I mean? So
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that, but
I don't know.
I still think Troll's a really solid mid. I think he can beat most heroes mid, actually. Yeah. And he offers a lot to the team. Like, even though he's kind of a greedy hero, he needs items, but his ulti still is, like, really fucking good.
He does pretty good against OD, like, compared to most heroes.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think you don't agree because you're silent now.
Well, no one really does great against OD. I mean, Razor and Lone Druid and I guess kind of Troll they can do okay, but I mean OD's OD. Mm-hmm. You don't pick it unless you want to win the lane. So.
Well, but that's why it's a good benchmark. Like, how well do you do against OD?
If you not well, like everybody.
It's okay, I mean, this is pub Dota though. This is pub Dota. We're talking. Okay, this is the pub patch. Okay, so if we're in a pub. And you see
we
some.
Just decree it's the pub patch.
You just Ice Frog has no say. This is the pub patch. Whatever. Anyway, if somebody picks OD in a pub against you, you just roam on that nerd. Fuck OD pickers.
Yeah, I guess.
Can they do Fervor Jungle?
What?
Can they do Fervor Jungle? It's a clear buff. Used to be borderline jungleable, right?
What do you need? Like, you still need some kind of lifesteal or something, don't you?
Fuck lifesteal,
you need lifesteal.
You get Tango. I don't know how you'll get to that 9. Like, I think when you get the Mask of Death, yeah, but until that point, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Tusk. Draskyl's favorite hero.
I do love Tusk, yes.
So, secondary units hit by the snowball now take the same impact as primary unit. They used to take half the damage and half the stun. Well, not half the stun. 0.25 seconds less stun. And now it deals damage. So, pretty much, if you misclick and you click a creep next to the hero, you will still stun him and damage as much as if you would have hit him. But it's not about that. It's about stunning the people that are in between. It's not about misclicking. It's a really, really small buff, in my opinion, because it's like, how much? 40 extra damage and 0.25 stun. No one ever died because of that. Except if they have less than 40 HP.
Happens more than you would think, bud.
We'll see.
But you forgot the most important thing.
Yes.
Now you can wave clear with him.
Ooh.
Wave clearing Tusk, man. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking of random shit now. We've been doing this for a while.
Can you target non-hero units with snowball? I didn't know you could. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can target anything.
Yeah, you can run away. Like, it's a very good escape mechanism if you have it on cooldown.
Okay.
And the other thing is that they removed the 50% threshold mechanic from Walrus Punch, and Walrus Punch base crit increased from 3 to 3.5. So it's more consistent, like a consistent damage. And here's the thing. You always wanted to wait until the threshold with Tusk before, because it's considerably a lot more damage. By telling you that you don't have to wait until the threshold, in the same way I said, like, the Sven change kind of said, okay, Sven should kind of feel more like a carry than a support. I think this puts Tusker more as a support hero. Just like,
I don't know about
use your stun at the beginning. Don't like try to get kills with that. Leave the kills to the carry. Just use it because
Walrus
it's a good
Punch
stun
is
as
actually worse. Like right now, it's 4 below 50%.
Yeah, it's 4x.
So, yeah, the 3.5, it means it will be better for like initiation to start off the burst. So in that sense, I think that it's better for a support because you can just get your damage done straight away. You don't have to like effectively punch every time below 50%. And in that sense too, you usually KS with it, which you don't want to do as a support that much. So yeah, I agree with Bruno in that one aspect.
Yeah. Well, we know Draskyl is the Tusk expert, so I'll leave you at the end. But right now, okay, so Tuskar always had a very awkward interaction with Shadowblade. Because obviously you want to get the full max Walrus Punch, you want to get them low, but with the whole Shadowblade shenanigan, you want to kind of sort of initiate with that. So now it works well with Walrus Punch and Shadowblade. There's that. Also, I find a lot of times when I play Tuskar and you want to use that Walrus Punch as a knockup, as a stun, sort of, especially against BKB units, there you go. You can still do that now without waiting for the threshold. So I think in terms of more consistency, factor, I think Tuskar overall has had a buff. But in terms of more a flavor thing, like you always want to get a freaking, the right punch. Now it's like it takes a skill out of it. I'm not sure. It's a good change for him.
It depends on what role you have defined for the hero. Like if you're running like a mid Tusk and you want to kill secure with your punches, then yeah, it's a little bit worse. But if you can actually initiate with Shadowblade Punch now and it still does the same damage as opposed to before where you would just Shadowblade hit, snowball, then Q, then punch. The combo is way easier to execute, so you can just go in and go for kills like straight up. So I think overall the hero, the way that you're playing him feels a lot better. Like it just feels smoother in the way that I see it. And the snowball damage buff is kind of meaningless to me. I mean, I said the like wave clearing thing just in jest, but I think it's all right. Not bad.
Yeah. Maybe you can clear wave actually with your 2 spells on level 4. I don't know.
I don't think so. How much does Ice Shards do at max level?
I have it right here. Wait. Ice Shards is 280.
So no, it doesn't. It doesn't kill melee creeps.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, 280 and 200.
All right, so you still got to make a Battle Fury.
You do what you want to do. Well, okay, so we finished with Tusk, and we're going into Undying Soul Rip cooldown, reduced from 25-20, 15-10 to 24-18, 12-6.
So Soul Rip, amazing spell. He has mana issues though. Like all the time, as most Undying does.
Undying has this problem that past the 3-minute mark, he's a useless hero.
Yeah.
He's a 5-man Dota hero, and in that kind of a feel, I think that this change is pretty decent. It might actually make people think twice about always maxing Decay after Tombstone and start getting points into Soul Rip, depending on your team comp. Because say you have like a Furion or something and an Undying, then maxing Soul Rip actually makes sense because the 5 target increment that you get per rank actually does a lot of damage extra or healing.
Yep.
So you could potentially see varying skill builds if anyone actually played the fucking hero, because nobody does. At least not in competitive, but I think in the way that he functions, it's a good change.
Yep. Good stuff.
Pretty enough. Vengeful Spirit, Wave of Terror Armor reduction. Okay, Vengeful Spirit is good for Roshan again. And that's it. Venomancer. Base damage. I want to take the moment to address the fact that I always say Venomancer instead of Venomancer.
Venomancer, like with the B?
With the B. I say with the B because in Spanish, like the B and the V sound are pretty much the same, and you interchange one with the other. People like to pick that. I mean, it's like the Venomancer. It's like, yeah, what condition.
You know they're gonna say it anyway now, especially because you brought it up, right?
Venomancer.
You gotta be like Venomancer.
Venomancer. Yeah. So base damage reduced by 5, and base HP regen reduced to 0.25. So
I never knew he had a higher than usual base regen. Is that common knowledge? My bad, guys.
As I said, there's so little, like, there's no standard. There's some heroes that arbitrarily have more HP regen for whatever reason. Venomancer totally doesn't deserve it.
Knowledge is power, though. You gotta know this shit.
Yeah, I love the Twitch chat right now. It's like, Venomancer.
I told you, man. You just can't do that.
Well, okay, so Rufus, does this do anything to the hero? Because he's not using his base damage to really hurt people.
I really think he's the same. Sure, a 5 base damage nerf hurts him, but he's always run as a support. And if you're the Venomancers that are in like all pubs nowadays, they saw that one game where I think it was EGM zoned out somebody on a Timbersaw with level 1 Poison Sting, and they're just like, oh my god, it's so good. And then you just max it now. So still going to be seeing a lot of that, I'm sure. And it's still a strong hero.
Mm-hmm. It is. Unless you want to run him as a farmer. In that case, the 5 base damage will hurt. But I don't think...
you got wards. You're fine.
Hey man, Trixie did that.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was good. Okay. So keeping with the B heroes, Visage. Base movement speed reduced by 5. Grave Chill mana cost rescaled to a fixed 100. So pretty bad at level 1. Familiars are now properly magic immune. Which is actually good because I hated these familiars that would get shackle shot or frostbitten.
And eat arrows and shit. Oh, I hated that.
Wait, if they're magically immune, can they still eat arrows? You're not gonna just fly through it, right?
Wait, no. They still tank the arrows.
They still tank the arrows? Oh.
Yeah, I think they still tank the arrows.
And they still tank the shackles. I don't know if it changes.
No, you can't.
No, you can't target a magic immune thing with a spell, Lumi. Come on, bud.
I see.
Get with it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm still never playing Mirana against that hero then.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means Brain Sap can't just fuck up your birds.
No. Like it can't anymore.
Yeah, you can't Brain Sap them.
And
you can't OD Orb one-shot them either.
All right, cool. That's a pretty big buff, actually.
And you can't Impetus them.
Okay.
Impetus.
Okay, so Visage is taking a big nerf, I guess. Other than the familiar thing, because he doesn't have that big of mana pool. The reason he's strong early game is because Grave Chill is super cheap, and Soul Assumption, even though it's expensive, it's really good if you get like 2 shots. But I'm not sure right now if at level 1 you have enough for 1 Grave Chill and 2 Soul Assumption.
You definitely do. 2 Soul Assumptions? No.
No, yeah, that's
you have
just
enough
1
for
and 1.
1 and 1. Yeah.
So yeah, that's maybe a little nerf on him. But that's all about this hero, and we're going into the final ones because we're into W, and W is for Warlock. Upheaval max duration increased from 12 to 16 because there are so many times, what I wanted 13-second duration of my upheaval, but it just ran out.
Look, man.
I really, really wanted to have 13 seconds, and I couldn't get it. And I'm like, damn, why can't I channel this any longer? God damn it, world! And I
when Chain Frost is getting 10 bounces, when CMO is going to 7 seconds, you gotta keep up with everybody else. You gotta get 4 more seconds of upheaval. Have you seen the upheaval animation though? When people are trying to walk in the upheaval animation, there's hands coming out of the ground and just dragging you down. That is a good animation.
Can we just skip this? Because I'm over it, man. I'm done.
All right, let's go.
Windranger, Focus Fire mana cost is now 150 on all levels. I think that's really good. And I love this second change more. Focus Fire no longer has a cast animation. It was really silly to cast Focus Fire on someone just to let Windranger just stare at him for half a second and then start shooting.
So the reason that you never got Focus Fire was, I imagine, the long mana cost, and it just didn't do much. The question is, do you actually get Focus Fire now? And at what point do you get Focus Fire? Do you
think
get it at
maybe
10 level?
If you're 4/4/1, then maybe you can get it. Maybe not max Windrun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. I would put if you have the damage that you think or if you know that you can make a difference and stand in a team fight, putting a level 10 and 11, I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I think now you just get Focus Fire instead of maxing Windrun.
Cool. Yeah. Good.
Okay. Witch Doctor. Maledict AoE increased to 165, so it's easier to land. I always love that. Voodoo Restoration initial mana cost reduced from 25-50 blah 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 to 20-30-40-50, so it's much cheaper, especially at higher levels. And Paralyzing Casks can now bounce to units in Fog of War, which is huge.
Yes,
that's a really, really big change. Because the reason is that Paralyzing Cask is so slow that if one of the heroes that it's bounced into, it just goes to Fog of War, it completely stops, it does nothing. The spell kind of sucks. So Witch Doctor needs all the love he can get. I still think as a concept he's a great hero. Like a fun hero to believe. Maledict is an amazing spell, Deathwork is an amazing spell, the synergy between those two is great. The Cask is a fun spell because it allows you to just like make this crazy 2-man super stand that lasts forever. And Voodoo Restoration is weird. I'm going to just say that, it's weird.
I'm just surprised that he's not picked more right now, especially with the metagame, how it is, like really good early game fighting, a lot of pushes going on. Cass is just amazing. Like, Cass won Tri-Lanes back in 2010 when eHome and LGD and Nirvana China all played this hero back and forth. Voodoo Restoration, great at a Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane situation in terms of keeping a support longer alive. It keeps up a push as well, so there's that. Maledict's good for damage, obviously. So I'm completely surprised that he's not picked.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he suffers from the AA syndrome.
A syndrome in terms of
needing a really strong partner all the time. Like, he can never babysit a hero who's weak because Maledict, just by how the skill works, you have to have another hero who does a significant chunk of damage because you don't do it on your own. So you need something like really hard hitting to partner him with, I think.
Yeah, he's much more of an offensive support than a defensive one.
Well, not like he's that, but at the same time, if you're rotating a Witch Doctor mid to gank, unless there's a good hero mid, you can't do anything. Like, you're throwing a Cask, and it's a 1
Well, it
second
depends
stun.
on the bounces, right? Like, you have to gank in it's not a Vengeful Spirit where you magic missile and you get the gank off. If there's only one range creep left, and then you're throwing the Cask out, holy shit, it's a change stun. It's good. I think this hero is amazing. Also, he has high base damage, a really good animation you can harass with. I don't know, man. I like Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on the animation and damage thing, so I'm gonna give you that. But I want Witch Doctor to be good. I just feel he's not there yet.
Fair, yeah.
Anyway, but you know who's there? Wraith King, because
No.
No. Okay. I looked at this change. I was like, okay, this is shit. Then I looked at it again, and I'm like, this is not shit.
Did you do the math? Is this like Shadow Demon where it doubles?
Yes, exactly. Reincarnation slow increased from 50 to 75%. Okay, I want to tell you this. 75% means that if you have a hero on the other side that has 522 movement speed, which is max movement speed, he will go to 130.
Okay.
Anything lower than that, he will go to 100, which is minimum move speed. Now, if you don't know what minimum move speed is, think Medusa's ultimate, when you just like,
or Hex,
or Hex, or getting purged by like Diffusal Blade, or
God,
getting
I want to
Shadow.
Be a purge gamer.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
all that stuff. Imagine, and this has, I think, a 900 AOE or I think it's 900 AOE.
It's pretty big.
Pretty sure. So on a 900 AOE, when you die for 5 seconds, everyone is stuck.
Okay.
Purged. Yeah, 900 radius.
So what you're saying is, when they fuck you up hard...
Yes, and what I'm saying is, Wraith King is a support.
Dude, you know what's the build? Blink Dagger Bloodstone, you just fucking go in, blink, and Suicide, and then, like, it's on. They're all slowed.
And you come back.
No?
And then
you come back.
Yeah, and a refresher, because you have to be a baller. But no, really, like, I mean, his stun... this might be a little bit crazy, but his stun is 2 seconds slow and stun on every level. And even if the damage is kind of bad at level 1, if you just go stun and aura and forget about the crit, you are a mediocre support. But if you add the fact that you can just force the enemies to focus you, because you just walk to them, really. Like, now you're a Wraith King. Like, you have 4 guys behind you that they're not going, and you just walk in. What are they, like, they can run away, but like if they kill you, then the other 4 jump on you, and you're like super. Like, the only sensible move for the enemy is to just like get you super low, run away, leave just the weakest support to kill you, so only that person is low, and then they come back and.
All right, I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we're gonna go to the next hero because this is getting bad. Bring back his other Mortal Strike, where it was an active. Bam. Moving on.
Yep. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Zeus Arc Lightning cast range increased from 700 to 850. This helps his laning.
Well, I don't think his laning was the issue, right?
No, it is the issue.
I don't think it is actually.
He uses Arc Lightning and the shit out of him. What are they gonna do?
I think that Zeus.
Do you think he's a strong laner?
I think that he is a better laner than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Have you watched Merlini, man?
Yeah, the problem isn't the fact that he can't cast Arc Lightning because of the range issue. Is he can't cast it because he has no mana. Unless Arc Lightning gets cheaper, I don't see a difference. I think
it costs like 80 mana at level 1.
No, it's cheaper than that. I think 65.
No, it's 65 or 75 or something.
Yeah.
65,
but
yeah.
The cool thing is it essentially increases damage output, right? Before, I think it's the same cast range as his lightning bolts. Now you could actually arc, walk in, bolt, and then go to work, and then arc again. The cast range is so long that, and you're proccing more static field, so it's only one line on the patch log, but it does actually significantly increase the damage output, I think.
I think that the range buff is good. Same reason why the sniper's range buff is good, because the hero's gankable. He pretty much always goes in a vulnerable position. Better lane, better being able to stand in the lane, just farther away, closer to the tower, save your position, just a buff, and the hero is like already pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're done with the heroes. We only have the items left, and we're done.
I think
with
this
patch.
is where the patch log starts, man. Let's get real.
Yeah,
okay, let's check this out.
Okay, ground courier bounty per player reduced to 150.
All right.
But the ground courier only. The flying courier is still 175. So I don't think it changes much.
Nope.
Arcane boots. Mana cost increased by 10 again.
Woo.
Nerf to arcane boots. This is kind of I think this is again kind of like nerf to pushing lineups. See, like actually 5-man Dota, but 5-man Dota today means pushing. So just by
that
less...
it's because they're not dropping their stats item before arcaning. If they do that, then it's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. They should do
no?
that more.
You don't do that?
I do
Draskyl,
that.
do you do that?
Yeah,
I
do that
that
a lot.
You drop
People actually ask me why I do that so much.
Yeah, man, it's like holy shit, efficiency. All right.
And then the invisible cling steal your items and your set.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's like you have to do that, especially early game. It makes the big difference.
Okay, can we like talk about the only change in these that really matters?
Blink Dagger no longer has mana cost.
Thank you. So that's actually really big, and I don't think a lot of people give it enough credit, because there's a lot of situations where even as a support, say you're a lowly Earthshaker, right? I'm going to use Bruno's comparison from earlier when he was going into like the mind of Skeleton King. You're an Earthshaker, you're 0-7, you have brown boots and a TP.
Yeah.
Okay?
You go blink.
Now, you have like 2,000 gold. You're going to the last creep wave. You want your blink so bad, it's like 35 minutes in. All you've done is feed, right? You get the fissure, you buy your blink dagger, and now you have enough mana to use your actual spells after you blink, and you win the game because you get a 5-mana Echo Slam, and you didn't need arcanes for it. Boom. Best change.
I'm completely sold on that story.
Rags to riches.
Rags to riches. It's a feel-good story.
This helps Axe a lot, because Axe mana pool is shit. I think Legion Commander, similar. I don't know how good her mana pool is.
Earthshaker, Tidehunter, Magnus.
Really,
so
before you had to go Arcane Blink, now you just go straight Blink, right?
Yep. Even like heroes like Pac, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't think Pac really needs to help.
But yeah, I kind of joked and I skipped this other change. Battle Fury, Cleave AoE increased from 225 to 250.
Okay.
I hope that's not what Andy was talking about, the most impacting change in the game.
You know, I really wish, and I know this.
I just wanted to tell that Earthshaker story.
This is a really bad slippery slope.
I love
you know.
Man.
Okay. I'm gonna go really on a tangent here. All right. When I was watching Brood War StarCraft one day, right?
Okay.
Protoss versus Protoss. And there's this invisible scout things, right, that went into the enemy base. And it's invisible, so you can't see it. So obviously you can't target it.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Bisu because he was fucking like insane in the game. He used his Reaver to attack one of his units, and the AoE splash damage kill something. Kill the invisible Reaver that he couldn't target. Invisible scout thing that he can target. That shit is amazing. Now I'm saying, why can't you actually clone teammates? Which I know this is a really bad thing because like you can kill your teammates. But if you could cleave off your own teammates, you could fuck up that Slark or whatever you can't see. I'm not saying you could cleave off your teammates. You should be able to do that, but I just like, oh man, sometimes I just wish that you can, because I know that Slark is right there, and I just want to fucking kill him.
Even at the cost of your own teammates.
Yeah, at the cost of your own teammates.
No, I get that, man. Sometimes I actually want to be able to just give my teammates to the other team as like a sacrifice, and maybe they will just leave me alone. I get it.
Jesus. You killers. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Good to get that out of your system, Lumi. I do that a lot. I know how therapeutic that is. However you mentioned that. But yeah, good story. Like the Earthshaker story more. Had more passion in it. And less betrayal. But now we go into bottle, and this is a cute change. This is not a big change, but it's a cute change. You can now use the bottle on allies by holding down the control key. I like that.
Yeah, saves you the whole dropping the bottle. Can you use the rune though? Is the question.
No,
because that would change Dota.
No, I don't think you can.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
I think there's a question mark. This can all there's a question mark there, and if you hover on it, this can only be used to regenerate allies.
There you go, man. There.
Yeah, smart man. Diffusal Blade, agility bonus increased by a little bit.
Holy shit! No, it's not a little bit. This is a lot. Can you imagine PL Naga going to work with this? It looks like 4 damage, but it's not 4 damage. I'm not kidding you.
Math is
really
hard.
Elaborate.
Yeah, it's actually 4 damage.
No.
It's
go to the next item.
Damage. All right, drums.
Drums. Number of charges increased. This is actually Draskyl. This is yours. I'm completely out of it.
It's a buff, but stop changing how much this item costs. I can never remember how much it costs anymore because it changes every fucking patch. In terms of efficiency, it's better because you're getting a drum charge for 75 gold instead of having to buy the whole recipe again. Even if you divide the cost by how many charges extra that you get, it's still better to have it this way. But I need to know how much they cost at all times because it's my fucking sub icon. Damn it.
Yep.
Okay.
It went from 600 to 9 to 8 to 875, right?
Something like that.
Okay, it's your sub icon. Do you ever rebuy the recipe just to get 4 more charges?
I have before, yes.
Okay. I just never figure out when is the correct time to ever do it, and just never did it.
Well, it's in games where you've pretty much already won. Like, that's the only time I would ever do it.
Okay.
Like, if you already have, like, 3 other items other than just having the bongos, and then you just, like, whatever, I'm just going to buy a new charge because I don't have enough for a new item and we're winning anyway, that's when I do it.
Cool.
Fair enough. Okay.
Scepter.
Yule Scepter.
Yes.
2-second cooldown with use. It's always nice. Like, that's a really... I think we're starting seeing more and more Yules in the metagame, both in pubs and in pro games.
It's such a good item, man.
Yeah.
It's a really good item. It's a really strong item. But that's it. Good for Yule. Shout out to Yule, by the way. Amazing guy. Force stuff. Force travel speed is reduced. So it goes from 0.3 seconds to 0.4 seconds to actually do the animation, which is 33% slower.
It's 0.1 second. Can we just move on?
I was going to say, I don't know if it changes anything. But this next change is actually a big change, I think. Is the Iron Branch costing like from 53 to 50? I honestly think it's a big change.
And honestly, what kind of arbitrary number was 53 gold anyway? Like,
well, remember when you have 603 gold?
Yeah, but it's still, it's like, yeah, it's gonna cost. You know what? 53. That's the magic number, just to be.
Do you know why? Do you know why they actually bumped it down by 3 gold? I think so. They're too lazy to change all the recommended starting item on that tab, because it doesn't work right now. The gold change, or the Tango and Salve change. I think with this change on Iron Branch, now it all magically works again. Maybe we have to go back and check. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The question is, now you can actually question yourself. Do I want another Iron Branch? Do you want another Clarity? Before it was no contest. Like, if you had money for
it's still no contest. The Clarity is pretty much better than a Branch, like 9 times out of 10.
But the Branch ensured GG.
Yeah, but you already have one. You only need one GG. You don't need double. That would be GG. That just sounds stupid, Bruno. Jesus.
Baby.
Holy shit. All right, we're done with that.
You set me up to it. Sorry. Mask of Madness, lifesteal increased to 20%, so now it's equally as lifestealy as Helm of Dominator.
Cool.
Meh, whatever.
Cool, yeah, yay. Mjolnir, change the area type that is used when static charge hits units. So essentially, it used to hit an cone in front of you whenever you got hit. Now it hits anyone, like everyone. Oh, sorry, not everyone. Like the amount of target, I don't know, it was like 5-7 targets on anyone that can be around 900 AoE around you. So you can
the true counter to Radiance.
Wait, that's magic damage proc Mjolnir?
Yeah, all damage does.
True counter to Radiance, I'm telling you.
Huh.
5 Mjolnir is fucking gonna work. Alright, Necrobooks.
Yep. Necrobooks. I think everyone agrees that Necro is a very strong item and we're kind of hating it a lot now in pro games. So I'm not surprised about all these nerfs. Essentially, they give more bounty when they kill them from level 2 onwards. The armor is severely reduced. Like it goes from 10 to 4, and that's a huge thing because they feel really tanky when you try to right click them. It's not the case anymore with 4 armor. And the cooldown is increased from 80 to 95 seconds, which is 15 more. When they last about 40 seconds or 45, this is kind of a big deal. Is Necronomic undead?
No.
No.
Definitely
so
not
I think
dead.
The 15, out of these 3 lines, I think the 15-second actually hurts it more because, yeah, sure, it's a lot easier to kill. Yeah, sure, it gives them more bounty. But the fact of the matter is, you still summon them. You still push with them. And sure, if you kill them, it hurts you like hell because that's, what is it, 600 pair damage? It's no joke. Like, upwards to 40, 50 minutes in the game, it still hurts you a sizable amount. So I think the cooldown is only the big thing here, especially in pro games. In pub games, not so much.
Can we just go like full lone druid and make these things give 300 gold apiece? Because I hate this item. I hate it real bad. If I'm going to lose my entire mana bar and take 600 peer damage from this, it better give me like a lot of money.
Fair enough. Cool.
So I actually think the Observer Ward change is huge, like in terms of competitive game.
No, it really is. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, take for the offlaner, take 1 ward. As opposed
like
to...
this is my line of the patch for the entire patch in terms of competitive, which seems retarded because it's like, oh, wards.
It saves a lot of time on a support or a set of wards, which you don't have because you only have 1 at the beginning of the game. So
no, also like a lot of times when you're playing support, one of your job is to keep track of how many wards the enemy support is carrying. Like, oh, did he ward here? Did he ward there? And if you have vision, you could keep track of where they're warding.
You're talking about mind games. Like, oh, he has 1 ward. Did he plan to ward? Did he give 1 to an ally that I'm not seeing?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're playing Bounty Hunter, for example, and if you see them come out with 2 sentries and then suddenly becomes 1, you're like, okay, he put down a sentry. I got to be careful of such and such. Now I don't know what the fuck is going on, so it's like it's tough, but it makes sense. I don't know why it took so long to do this.
Well, I mean, Draskyl, you played Hun a lot.
Yep.
You remember the wars were sold individually in Hun.
Yep.
Like they were costed half. And one of the things that people say is that like on Hun it was really much harder to keep track of that. Like,
oh, it was just like a guessing game, like 80% of the time. Like you had a pretty good idea sometimes if you were in competitive because of what the team was trying to do, and that's how you would deward. Like you would deward based on the position that your team was in and what the other team was in. Are they pushing? Okay, I deward here or here. Are we pushing? Okay, I deward these 2 spots, and that's how you would do it. And I'm sure the mentality is still going to be the same, at least in competitive games. But what Lumi's saying is definitely right. In pubs, especially, like you're going to have a nightmare trying to deward because I'll be honest, supports just fucking ward wherever. And the only way to find wards in pubs most of the time is to just see their inventory or watch them do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a nice change. I really, really like it. So we're going to see more of that later when we get Sentry Wards, which they get the same change. But Radiance, attack damage bonus increased from 60 to 65.
Woo!
Woo!
Long Druids.
That's the Long Druid buff you were talking about.
Yep.
Cool. Refresher Orb, 75 gold cheaper.
Woo!
I hated that recipe. It was like so expensive. Now it's still expensive, not so. Ring of Aquila, agility bonus increased from 6 to 9. I always hated the fact that Ring of Aquila didn't give you anything aside just like 1 extra slot. So now I feel more compelled to build Ring of Aquila.
It's still a really efficient item.
It is. but it was just like as useful as. Okay, so before Ring of Aquila existed, you could get a Wraith and a Basilius, and you still have the same. And by the time you got that like 4th or 5th item, it didn't really matter the extra slot. I'm being maybe a little bit exaggerated here, but that's how I felt about that. So having 3 extra agility makes me feel happy about buying Ring of Aquila. So good. I don't know. Rod of Eidos, Rod of AUI, HP bonus plus 25.
Okay.
Keep buffing that item.
I still think it's fine the way it is, honestly. I mean, it's very situational, but so are most items. An item shouldn't just be good all the time. Why do you think people complain about the basis of a BKB in general? Because the item is always good.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. But the thing is that I think every item has one hero that would want to go for that item 60-70% of the time.
Except Saint Yasha.
That item has like the highest pub win rate, man. Get out. Just get out.
Wait, you know what completes your 6 inventory slot? Like, if you don't care about Booty Travel or Teleport Scroll, your last inventory slot should always be a Saint Yasha because it's better than whatever boots it gives you.
Yep.
Like, fuck your treads. Get SMY because it gives you more movement speed and attack speed.
There you go.
Does it give you more movement speed than
It gives you 30% increase. So, as long as you're not CM with 280 base, right?
That's true.
Yeah, like, you just get SMY. Sell treads and get SMY and be done. That's why you win pub games.
Wow. You just opened my mind to new experiences, Lumi.
Fucking A, that's what I do, man.
Wow.
By the way, I think you
Lumi
totally just like... I don't know, man. My brain hurts. Whatever.
Sanjin Yasha slow duration increase for 1 second and the slow increase in 2%. Next. Sentry War. We're talking about that. Next. Shadow Amulet. Fade delay improved from 1.8 to 1.5, so you get invisible faster. And can now be used on allies. It has a 600 cast range, and it goes into cooldown for 10 seconds when used on allies. So now you can actually make other people invisible. And that's why I said like tree got a nerf, because now you don't need a tree to get that initiator in precision for the big ravage.
It takes 1.8 seconds.
1.5 seconds. That's the thing, is like you see them pushing, you put the guy just like in front of the tower before they are in vision, and you make him invisible. And then when they get there and they're pushing, like, we're gonna push, and they're like, no, I'm getting black hole and everything, and I'm dying, melting, help. If only we knew that Shadow Amulet did that. Curse you.
Is there any real use though? Like, to be serious? Like, can you like leave a Tidehunter invis in front of the?
Yeah, you can leave a Tidehunter invis. That's the most obvious use. You can use it if you're like, I mean, it's still 1.5 delay, but if you know that a guy is getting focused, you cast it on that guy. So let's say your carry gets Fin gripped, you cast Shadow Amulet on the carry, and if they don't get dust, they can't focus him. Like, the Fin's grip will keep going, of course.
He's still revealed, though, if he's gripped.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he?
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay, the question is, would you ever get Shadow Amulet,
then.
maybe as a support item, and never upgrade it to Shadow Blade?
Yep.
No. I don't think so, man. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think you'll fuck around with the 1.5 second thing. I think, I mean, as cool as this looks, I think it would just give you like a situational item use of your prophet who's already gonna go Shadow Blade. Right? If you're not gonna get a Shadow Amulet by itself, then you know.
I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe you just want to go Shadow Blade, but you go Shadow Amulet first, and you have the utility of that item while you go for something else, and then you finish the Shadow Blade later. Even though you want the Shadow Blade pretty, I really don't know. Maybe if you're going for Shadow Blade and the game starts going horribly wrong and you can't finish that Claymore, and now you have some utility out of that item other than just being a glows of haste in your inventory.
Yeah, my argument is you're gonna go Shadow Blade regardless if you're gonna get the item, and Shadow Amulet just give you a little bit of benefit along the way. You're not gonna get Shadow Amulet for the sake of getting Shadow Amulet for this fate time.
No, realistically, no.
Okay.
Good. No, realistically, no. But yeah, so I still like the change. Shiva's Guard. Arctic Blast range increased by 200 from 719 to 900. And the speed increased from 300 to 350. That's a good change, especially when you're kind of running away from people. let's say you have a Shiva's Guard and you're running away, since you're kind of getting farther and farther from them. There's lots of times that you're running and you pop the Shiva's Guard and you kind of outrun them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you never get to hit them. So that going faster and farther means that you're going to probably get to hit people in that situation.
Better, faster, stronger.
Harder.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And speaking of harder, it's harder to gank now because Smoke of Deceit has decreased the duration from 40 to 35. What a beautiful segue I just did there.
Brilliant. To be fair, though, there's very few times where I think that having a 5-second off your smoke is going to matter. Like,
yeah,
if you position on the map and you're trying to avoid like smoking in wards, even if you smoke on like your side of the river in your woods, you still have plenty of time to get to the other side of the map. So I don't really think it matters that much.
More often than not, it's more like I don't know where the hell they are, and let's just smoke around to find people. And I think that's the 5-second it hurts. Do you guys feel that smoke is where it's at, or do you think that this item is still bonkers and needs more nerf?
I think it's really strong.
I think it needs to be in the game. Like there needs to be a mechanic like this where you can avoid vision. Otherwise, it's just it lets you play passive. It enables you to turtle out the game, which is not really what I think is supposed to be intended. Especially after they changed like Tower Gold, Hero Gold like 40 times. Like they obviously you want more active early games, so you need this item to function the way that it does.
I honestly wish the duration was severely smaller, where you're like, okay, we're going to use this item. Okay, what if you kept the movement speed for the whole duration, but the invisibility only for a short duration? So like, I think this is a place where they're warded. So we get 15 seconds just to go through that specific place, and that's it. Because it feels like in pubs especially, feels very risk-free. In pubs where you don't get information from the other lanes unless you're kind of paranoidly watching everyone else, it's just like a free gank.
Yeah, but that's something, again, like we did kind of deem this the pub patch, but I still think it needs to be that way.
Yeah. I wouldn't be sad to see more nerf on Smoke of the Sea. Yes, it needs to be in the game.
Yeah.
But
maybe the movement speed thing was a bit much.
Yeah.
Because if you think of it this way, maybe decreasing the duration of how long smoke lasts is kind of the same thing as making it so you run slower, because effectively you're just getting less time to move around the map. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to mess with.
The speed is also kind of a good escape mechanism if you get some ground on the enemies and you just pop smoke.
Yeah. I'm just sad that you can't use smoke to disjoint stuns anymore. Like,
oh, that was
the shit. Yeah.
Stormhammer coming at you. Brewmaster's ulti.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. But okay, TP scrolls. Is this a big thing?
Okay, I'm gonna let you discuss because I have my thoughts on this. But I'm gonna let you discuss like what you think about this. Stacking delay decreased from 3.5.678 to 3.5, 5.5, 6.5. Max targeting range increased from 525 to 575. The targeting range is how far from the tower you can TP to.
So I think the targeting range matters more than the stacking thing. Because the whole, like, if you see 3 TPs going on you and as you're pushing a tower, you're getting the hell out. Like, it doesn't matter if they're coming in half a second sooner for the second TP, third TP. Like, you're done by then. You're out by then. So I don't think that matters too much. And how often are you going to TP 5 to a tower and have the enemy stay there? The whole targeting range really allows you to TP behind trees now. Like, especially, for example, on the
Radiant
tier
bottom,
tier 1 tower, tier 2 towers, or now on the maybe mid tower for Dire, you could get closer to a clump of trees. So there's that.
You still break the trees when you TP.
You break the trees, but you're in the fog, right?
You should still be in the fog depending on where you TP, because it breaks the trees around your actual TP location. So if it's a bigger radius around the tower, you can TP behind trees and still be in fog, but the trees will break.
Which actually is a huge deal, I think, depending on these tower fights. So
it can be.
There's that.
Okay, so, Andy, by the way, what's your thought on this?
I just think, like Lumi said, it really doesn't matter. If you're like 5-man TPing to a tower, what the hell is going on in that game that you're 5-man TPing to a tower?
Okay, and this is exactly my point. You led me right to it. There are 2 reasons why you would TP more than 2 persons to a tower. One is counter ganks. Like, they're diving your tower, come help. You send your 2 supports and your mid to just like go and kill the 2-3 guys that are diving you, right?
Okay.
So you do that, like, and that's where the stacking delay kind of helps. And also the targeting range kind of helps as well, because let's say you're late, because you know you won't be able to save anyone, just by being able to TP offensively 50 range more, it means that you have like a little bit of ground gain on the ganker that dove and ran away. So that's one way to put it. So it's kind of like a buff to counter ganking. But also, and this is a question like what Draskyl said, why would you TP 4 or 5 people to the same tower? What if you're against a pushing lineup? And the pushing lineup is just like destroying your towers. You want to get there. Like right now, with the stacking delay duration, like the duration of the TPs, it's impossible to TP the 5 people to the same tower because they will just come one by one and they will get picked off. But what if, and this is just like from looking at this and just making crazy thoughts, what if you could TP the people faster into that tower to defend while the glyph is popping? Remember, glyph is, I think, 5 seconds, and the whole TP would be 6.5 seconds, so you'd be like, glyph and quick TPs would get there before the tower gets any damage. And you also, because you are, like you have bigger targeting range, you can TP more spread out, so they can't really like Leshrac stun you or black hole you easily because
Bruno,
you're TPing everywhere.
I'm gonna let you finish, okay?
No, you're
but
not.
if I'm the team pushing, right, and I see glyph and 5 TP scrolls coming in, I'm getting the fuck out. I don't care if I have exorcism on, like I'm getting out.
Really?
Yes.
So you see 5 TPs and you run away? Jesus.
Because you
Pro
won
players,
already.
take
You
note.
just took 135 times 5.
But what if, okay? What if the 4th or 5th TP that came in was a void, and he got there 1.5 seconds faster, so he caught the whole team, Chrono Served him, and won the game?
Yep.
What if?
Totally. TP
What if when the glyph was used and the cooldown for TPs was shorter, the void got there even faster and still killed their whole team?
Dude, if you can't get out of their TP range in 5 seconds of free traveling time, I don't know what the hell you're not getting enough SMYs. Like you just need more movement speed.
So you're just saying that the solution to stop pushing lineups is to pick a Faceless Void and threaten to TP in their
Dude,
faces?
I'm just saying,
Oh my God, no.
this is getting a bit weird.
Coming.
Oh my god.
But what
Jesus.
if the towers had a limited number of times they could attack? And the glyphs refreshed their... I'm just talking about another game. Can we just move on to the next item?
Tranquil Boots. Movement speed increased from 85 to 90. And HP regen increased from 10 to 12. I think Tranquil Boots went from being the very good item to a very bad item. When in the last change. And this is kind of like trying to make him a little bit better.
I mean, CM's getting nerfed, right? Her boots have to get buffed, so there you go.
Yep. Okay. Bale of Discord, a little bit more strength, agility, and damage. So yay if you're playing Disruptor, I guess. Or Sun King. Or a Shaker.
Disruptor?
Disruptor, too.
This is the Radiance, Windwalk, or what's it, Shadowwalk, Ghostwalk, Veil of Discord, fucking Invoker. Like, new patch coming out.
So you call snap them, you
go to
them.
Ghostwalk, and you just watch them die.
You have to call snap them first.
Okay, fair.
Before going, yeah. Anyways. That wraps up the patch. As I said, I don't think it's as game changing as 679. Nothing like...
Well, let's think of
your
it from...
favorite change, Lumi.
What? My favorite change is the wards.
Yeah. The wards.
Yeah.
Andy?
Fuck Broodmother and her spirit. That's my favorite changes.
Yep. I'm actually gonna go Blink Dagger, no mana.
Cool.
I like that one a lot too. That would be my second, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, but look at that. Like, if those are your favorite changes, it means that there were no big changes. Like, I remember when 679 came, people were drooling over Bloodseeker being able to get like 3,000 movement speed, which in reality never happened because the conditions for that to happen were completely impossible. But hey, I don't know. Like, I don't feel this patch has anything has the shock value other than the Fist of Death.
Dude, I'm just gonna get that. I'm gonna get that one fucking game where the other team's gonna have like an Enigma or a Magnus and a Lion, and the Lion's gonna have an Eggs, and my team's just gonna get like 3 or 4 man Black Hole, and I'm just gonna fucking leave. Like, I'm just gonna abandon the game. That's gonna be it for Dota for the day, boys. It's gonna happen.
I'm a big fan of the Alacrity change for Invoker as well. I actually think that WE is coming back. It's on the rise, maybe. So there's that.
Hopefully.
I think my favorite changes were Brood ES, but I think the best change was Invoker.
So do you actually think that all 3 builds are viable, or?
Well, obviously you have to see. I just think that people are going to feel more incentive to go Quas Wex, especially. Maybe not Wexort, but Quas Wex now having a 2.6 base EMP time, that's like a lot better.
Big stuff.
So, okay. Good stuff. Andy, you're going to play now, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run commercials, grab some food, because I've been sitting here for like 3 hours, and then I'm going to play some games. I should only be gone for like a couple minutes.
Yep. Yeah, and for those of you guys that only came in for the latter portion of the 3-hour thing that we did, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. I'm uploading it right now, so it'll be up soon, I guess.
Yep. And I'm going to leave right now because I have a birthday to celebrate.
Happy birthday.
I'm awesome.
You
really
are awesome.
Old now.
How old are you?
How old are you turning, Bruno?
29.
29.
Dang. Oh, man.
Jeez, you got a foot in the grave, bud.
Yeah, dude, I'm almost getting closer and closer to James each day. I'm not sure I will be able to catch up, but I don't know. Like, he smokes a lot, so he ages like 2 years a year.
That's true.
So other than that, it was
Doesn't he eat hot pockets all day, or?
Pizza, frozen pizzas.
Oh, okay. And you eat real food, so.
Yeah.
Bruno eats a lot of fish. That's why he's so smart.
I ate a lot of fish. Now I started cooking. Like, you're missing out, Andy. I kind of got into this post-Christmas depression where I started cooking and baking. So you're missing kind of all the... I made raspberry pie and blueberry pie. Then I made alfajores, which is like a Argentinian sweet delicacy that's like covered in chocolate and super sweet. Yeah, you've been really missing out. Like, when you come back, you're gonna catch up.
All right.
We're gonna have a cook-off soon, right? Like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so okay, guys. I'm gonna leave for now. Maybe I'll poke you later, Andy, and join you in one of your games if you're playing for a while.
Yeah, no problem. I'll probably be streaming for another like 3 or 4 hours at least. So.
Okay, cool. I need to eat, like, have dinner, which is 1 a.m. So it would be nice. But other than that, that'll be good. So I'll see you later, I guess. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for enjoying us, like people listening to us for 3 hours, even if my sound levels were weird and people are hating on my voice now. It's really, really good. So see you next time. Bye-bye.
GG, guys.
And I am going to turn this on, and then I'm going to go grab something to drink at least.